TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop, come on, baby, higher. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop.
From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the evening or late afternoon, whatever you want to call it, for the closing bell. Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Just a couple days left of August. Sunday, we turn the page, and we have September 1st barking down our doors as the Staples commercials will slowly pass. And then you know what you're going to see? Pumpkin spice and Halloween for the next 2 months. So anyways, I couldn't be happier and prouder of this team. It has been, excuse my French here, balls to the wall here the last couple of weeks. To say we are on the cusp is being very nice. I've been doing this now for 9 and 3/4 years. Never gave up, never quit, won't quit, can't stop, won't stop, whatever you want to say. And we've built a team here second to none. And everyone chipping in, everyone working overtime, everyone doing their job, their part in creating what is a media group competing with the big boys. And we're not out here to compete with the big boys. Listen, I don't have $250 million in marketing money. I don't have Paramount Picture Studios or anything like that, but we have a bunch of guys that all believe, and a bunch of people that see what I see and I saw back in 13 and 14 and launches in 15. And we can't thank you guys enough for watching, supporting us on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year, January 1st, a decade, 2025. So shout out to WagerWire, our proud sponsor and partnership. Zach, Travis, we had the media group weekly meeting. This fall is going to be off the charts. So go download that app at Google Play or wherever you download the apps. It's free. And I promise you, there's going to be day-to-day shows. We're going to be putting parlays together over at RT Sports. We're going to be educating daily. We might be even buying and selling plays. So we're going to get our feet wet over there as well. Shout out to CT Bets and the rest of that team and family over at Viva Seltzer, Tequila Seltzer, excuse me. If you have not tried it, shame on you. Go to your local places where you buy beverages, adult beverages that is, or go to your sports bar or wherever that may be and ask them why they don't have it. And the new flavor coconut, so get on to that. And our newest sponsor and partnership, Terry Smith of Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. I know all you guys know about Omaha, okay? And I'm not here to poo-poo Omaha. What I am telling you, Terry and Atlanta Steaks and Seafood have better quality and 100 times better customer service. I promise you that. So we're going to have Terry on later this week, and then we're going to get you to the website, and we're going to get you over there to connect with Terry. Great grilling season. The holiday season's coming up, so Terry will take good care of you. New York strip, sirloins, seafood. I love the lamb chops. Oh my God, I die for the lamb chops. So I'll keep an eye on Terry Smith and the Atlantic Steak and Seafood. So I talked enough, so let's bring in the co-host. Hey, Mr. Co-host, Southside Riley, Spidey. I think we hit a couple home run props last night, and they were some pretty decent ones too. Mr. Machado and Mr. Olson both went back. So without further ado, Riley Magnuson. What's up, champ?
What is up, my friend? Yes, the bombs were bombing a little bit there yesterday, so I got to give it up, especially the Machado one there. Not a go number, still feeling good about it, and blasted it off there, my friend. So props to you on the Machado one for sure as well. But again, nice Tuesday. Nice Tuesday of sports action, baseball action. I was gonna say outside. For the Chicagoland area, it is 95 degrees out here. So if I look a little flush, it's because the heat is seeping in through my windows, no matter what I do. So staying inside, trying to stay cool, my friend. I don't know what it's like over in your neck of the woods, but there's going to be some ballparks tonight that are blazing hot in the Midwest. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, what has not been friendly Fenway all season. The Sox dropped another one last night at home. Jays team total over. ECSI VIPs 2-1 yesterday. Get the Jays team total over. Get the Padres team total over. Real sweat free. And the Phillies, they're dead to me. I swear to God, I can't wait till they lose in the first round. We had them first 5 minus the hook. And again, another reason why I hate laying 20, 25, 30-cent juices. So you win 2, and we gain 2.5 units, and then you lose, 125, 130. I despise it. Tonight's board has really been interesting. There was a couple numbers that really jump off the page, which we're going to get to. Cut day. Anything going on in Green Bay of note that you were surprised, shocked, or is business as usual?
One that I didn't really see coming or know the severity of, and I believe this is pretty fresh within the last 20 minutes or so. A.J. Dillon on season-ending IR with a neck injury there. It sounded like he had a bit of a stinger that turned out to be more than a stinger. So whether or not they were doing him a little bit of a favor because the rest of the running back room coming up is starting to prove their worth, whether that be Marshawn Lloyd, Emmanuel Wilson, that was while he might be injured, that might have been a better alternative for him than being cut altogether, because I know a lot of people thought that was coming his way. So A.J. Dillon, season-ending IR. But for a fan favorite, the fan base absolutely adores him, despite, not quite reaching the full potential that we saw after his first couple of seasons there. That is going on now. And obviously yesterday we had the Malik Willis backup quarterback news for the Packers while we were on the show. But earlier today, the kicking job is not declared towards Greg Joseph, but he is the kicker who is still on the roster now. But there's some speculation that they might try and get aggressive, and the job is not finalized yet by any means. Is kind of what I'm hearing now. So Anders Carlson is out the door. I'm not sure what the rest of the market for him will be, but he is out the door. And like I said, Greg Joseph, former starter in the league, at least for now, on the Packers roster, but could be on the looks for someone else if someone else finds their way out of another situation there. So still to be seen. I would bet that we might be in one of those situations where you get 2-3 kickers throughout the season here in Green Bay. So that is one thing. As optimistic as you can be about the Packers, the kicking situation is looking about as pessimistic as can be right now.
So for a fantasy aspect here, I know Lloyd's, what is it, a hammy with Lloyd?
Yeah.
Okay. So you cut Dillon, who I was real high on a few years ago. He got me pretty good, though, and I've kind of faded off him. A BC grad there. He was actually at the stadium last year on a couple of the former players were there, and he received an award. Nicest guy in the world. Yeah. Wish him nothing but the best there. Wilson and Lloyd, and we talked about Jacobs yesterday. From a fantasy point of view here, I have 0 shares of Josh Jacobs, 0. And I did a draft last night, and I had one swing at him. Well, meaning I could have had him early in the third. I went CD. I really said the hell with it. I really did. I had it goes 1 to 12, 12 to 1, back to 12 to 1. So then I had 1, and I took CD Lamb. I had 24, which I took DJ Moore. And then at 36 and 37, I says, I'm going for it. I took Rashi Rice and Patrick Mahomes. So I got the hook up there.
There you go.
And so no greens till 5 and 6. And I got my first share of Alvin Kamara, and I'm a big Montgomery fan. So I have Kamara and Montgomery. So Jacobs and Lloyd out for a couple weeks. In comes Wilson, or is Jacobs going to be a 3-down back here? How do you play that one? And then what do we do here? Do you stash? Do you dive into Lloyd knowing he's going to be a second half guy? What do you think?
I think you do stash Lloyd because the interesting part about the Wilson situation is I haven't been overly impressed with Emmanuel Wilson. So I think if you're dying for if you're picking scratch right now and you need someone who Josh Jacobs goes down week 1 and you need someone who's going to step in and fill a role, Emmanuel Wilson. Weeks 1 and 2, if push comes to shove and something happens to Josh Jacobs, he's gonna have to be that guy. So, if you're picking up scraps and you're tearing your hair out figuring out how to fill out your roster, then you take a little swing on Emmanuel Wilson as well. But I'm not very high on Emmanuel Wilson from a production standpoint. Like him a little bit around the goal line. I mean, and if Marshawn Lloyd is out an extended period of time further than what we expect. He might vulture some touchdowns and might get people who are Josh Jacobs owners tearing their hair out a little bit. That would not surprise me at all. But I do think he's taking a swing at Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, I do think, maybe I'm underplaying it, and A.J. Dillon's injury is really that serious. But I do think the Packers might have been doing him a favor where this injury could have only sidelined him 6 to 8 weeks, and they said, the prognostication on that is if we cut you right now and you're out 6 to 8 weeks, nobody's going to be looking for your services too much in weeks 10 or whatever it would be. So I personally think the Packers might have done him a little bit of favor there by putting him on the season-ending IR. Maybe I'm talking out of my what with that, but I do think that leans into their confidence of Marshawn Lloyd. So I do think you take a swing on Marshawn Lloyd. Again, when he is ready to go, I still don't know. I think it's still technically questionable for him. For week 1, but I would be. I think he is. From what I'm seeing, he won't start on season or on the IR. But I do anticipate that he would be out at least week 1. So I think you stash him, and if anything happens to Josh Jacobs, you got a chance to have the sleeper of the year in Marshawn Lloyd there from where he's at right now. So I think it's worth it.
I think it's a little Packer stash. I got Romeo as part of my wide receiver arsenal. Again, looking at my 15 teams here, started the year very high on Jaden Reed, and I think I had a couple shares of him early. Had some Dubs shares. I'm really, really high on Wicks, but I got Dubs. I probably should have waited, and then I could have swung back around a couple rounds later and got Wicks. Did get Watson the other day. I guess my question to you is, again, we talked about it yesterday about Watson, and again, the hard part with Watson is if he stays healthy. Listen, Love shined when Watson was healthy. Let's be honest here. Yeah. I mean, so as far as Love goes, Watson's a big part of that. But we just don't know the speculation on him and his hamstrings, yada, yada, yada. And then, again, I still haven't even mentioned Bo Melton over there and the tight end situation with Luke and of course, Kraft that we have talked about there. I guess, 10 days from now, 9 days, 10 days, you're going to be playing in Brazil. What's the... if you want my truth, the NFC right now, I think it's the Lions to win or lose. I got the Eagles second. I got your Packers third, then the 49ers. Now, I know people looking at me like, Jeff, what are you smoking here? Go check their roster. Go check their injuries. There's 24, 25 of those injuries, okay? And the Ayuk situation, okay? Oh, and by the way, he's got no Trent Williams, okay? So you can run to the window and hit that over 11.5 is listen, you can create your own lines. They're going to take that action, and if they go 12-5, shame on me. God bless them.
Right.
But my point is, it has not been a good off season. The fact that they've been to 4 of the last 5 NFC championships, the fact that they've been to 2 Super Bowls and they lost those, their window in my eyes is closed. Prove me wrong.
I'm not going to prove you wrong. At least this season, maybe they make some tweaks and turn things around, get a little healthier next season, and things go a little favorably for them. I think they're going to have some type of whether it's because of the factors you're talking about, whether it's the average, Super Bowl losing hangover or whatever it is. I'm with you because I know I mentioned it whatever last time we talked about this was, but they have. And again, like you said, if they go 12-5, shame on us. But because they did it well last season, had horrible rest disadvantages, whether it be the other team they're playing have rest advantages or the 49ers playing on short weeks. They've got one of the worst, or if not the worst, rest compared to the team they're playing advantages, disadvantages in the entire league. Again, 2 years in a row, they've gotten screwed on whether it be playing on short weeks or the team that they're playing themselves having some great rest advantages. So from that respect as well, it typically doesn't, especially when it happens, more than one season in a row, does not bode well for that team. So again, does that mean they're going to be 5-12? No, of course not. That's not what we're saying either. But that doesn't mean they're going to look as dominant and consistently good. Again, could it happen because they've got obviously talent still, but it could. But I'm with you, my friend. I think they regressed a little bit, and I don't have any way of shaking a stick at what you're saying either. I think. I'm interested to see what we see out of the Rams. You obviously take Aaron Donald out of the equation. I was so impressed what they did with, on paper, their defense, because from being what I thought was going to be horrific defense to being a serviceable defense, and now I'm curious to see how much of that really, you can credit towards Aaron Donald and how good he was. But before the season last year, anyone, even hardcore football fans, could take a look at their roster, and outside of Aaron Donald, you would be hard pressed to find somebody that you recognize on that defensive roster last year, and obviously a lot of it's coming back this year. So I'm curious to see what they do. I'm interested in them potentially as the team coming out of that division to win at the Rams there. So you get a little healthier on offense this year as well. So I'm with you as far as the Lions. Eagles, I'm with you there. I think, especially by the end of it, I think they'll be in that conversation as well. Curious to see if they have any growing pains with a little bit of the turnover they had. New faces and some important pieces out, but obviously they've done a good job of replacing some of the guys there. So as far as Packerland, we're everyone's excited. I'm still not sure what to expect going to Brazil in Week 1. Like I told you, the Packers under LaFleur in Week 1 have been very, very sporadic and up and down. So I'm not going to, if they get the doors blown off of them by the Eagles in Week 1, I'm not going to put too much stock in it. Same thing if they come out and win 35-20, I'm not going to put too much stock in it. I clip that and throw that back in my face when I do take too much stock in it, if that does happen. But the fan base is excited. We, whether it be just Jordan Love that you're a believer in or the receiving core that you're a believer in, I think a lot of people are tempering their expectations from going, the Aaron Rodgers type of jump that you had from, his first playoff season to obviously, which was year 2 for him, year 3 of a starter, they win the Super Bowl. So I think people are tempering their expectations a little bit like that because of what we saw from Jordan Love the first half of last season. But people are excited. And like I said, really special teams and kicker situation is the only thing that has got people a little concerned right now. The defense, new face on the defensive coaching staff, so optimistic there, my friend. So we are in good spirits these days and ready to get things going, and hopefully things start off well next week.
Mr. Saylor, Russell Saylor, welcome. Glad to have you on board. I know you're all fired up for football season. Mr. Saylor says the real test is Week 2. Who do you have on your schedule for Week 2?
Week 2 is Indy. Week 2 back in Lambeau against Indy.
That's why Russell said that, because he is a diehard Indy fan. Russell, we'll be waiting for your weekly reports on Indy. We have moved Mr. Ron Marmolewski to Thursdays, 5 o'clock Eastern. So Ron will be on this Thursday at 5 o'clock, and we'll be talking about Bet Bash, his trip up there. We'll be talking about power rankings, and of course, week one in college football, a little preview of NFL, and then of course we'll go full gear next Thursday, opening night there. Thursday night is Baltimore at Kansas City. Currently 2.5, I think, is the number there. Speaking of the AFC, guys, listen, I don't have any answers who's quarterbacking for the Patriots when they travel to Cincinnati. I will tell you this, as we talked about with Crack yesterday, and the circa million survivor, 40% of the pool will be on the Bengals. I have not seen an offensive line as bad as I have seen with New England there. So it's going to be comical there. I don't know if it'll be Jacoby. I don't know if it'll be Drake May. They did cut Bailey Zappi. What's Ron said? You should have heard what Ron said about the Patriots earlier. Yeah, I can just imagine. It is the laughing stock of the NFL. If there was an easier wager of the Patriots getting the number one pick. And the funny thing is, in the NFL, what is there? Every year, 4 teams that make the playoffs don't make the playoffs, and there's always a team from worst to first. And I'm not saying the Patriots are that team, of course, but someone's going to do it. It happens every year. My thoughts of the AFC currently is it's obviously Kansas City's to win or lose. I do think Cincinnati will be right there. A healthy Joe Burrow, a chip on their shoulder. Jamar Chase back in the fold. T. Higgins betting on himself for 1 year. So I like KC. I like Cincy 1-2 there. I think Baltimore, who had their window of opportunity last year, will take a little step back there. So I do take that. I do like the Jets. I believe in the defense. They will go as far as many games as Rodgers takes them there. I don't know what to expect from the Bills. They lose Diggs. They lose Gabe Davis. They lost a lot of key opponents in their defense. Miami, Tua. I mean, are we going to get lucky and he plays 15, 16 games a year again? I know Tyreek is an absolute beast. A-Chain, if we had crystal ball and knew he was going to play 15, 16 games, look out there. Keep an eye on Jalen Wright for all the fantasy guys there. I've been gobbling him up as much as I can there. Out west, again, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid with Bo, and I was a big Bo fan in Oregon. They did cut Tim Patrick. I know they got Cortland Sutton. I know they got Marvin Mims. Peyton hyping up the rookie from Notre Dame, Estime. He's the third back right now. They cut Pirine, so it goes Javonte Williams, McLaughlin, Estime. So keep an eye on Estime there. And then in Russell's division, again, every time we want to anoint a team, we anoint a team, and then we always pencil a team in for last. It always comes up ass backwards. So I'm going to say Houston takes a step back. Listen, it could not have been an easier ride for them. The kid back there just made it look too easy. They add Stephon Diggs. They add Joe Mixon. I mean, I don't know why they did it, but I'm not the coach. I'm not the GM there. So Stroud, I'm a huge Tank Dell fan. So my point is, I don't know what to expect. So we want to put Tennessee ass last. Well, I think Levis is going to take a step forward. They bring in Calvin Ridley. They got D-Hop. Keep an eye on Tyler Boyd early in fantasy this year. He's got a nice big spot over there. The running back situation there, Eileen Spears, that's me. I'm not a believer of Pollard. If you couldn't do in Dallas, why are you going to do it all of a sudden here? Russell's Indy, there. Jesus, I want to believe in Anthony Richardson. I really do. I think Jonathan Taylor stays healthy. They have a good year. Josh Downs will be out for a few weeks. I am buying that dip. Ken Pittman do the same thing with Richardson. You got Flacco back there. So again, I know I've been rambling here. Thoughts on the AFC? And Russell says May looks legit. He does, but that's with standing up. Again, no left tackle, no right tackle, inconsistency at the center spot. I'd rather see Jacoby get beat up for 6-7 weeks and then ease May in. I know we did it with Mac Jones, the only quarterback in that draft to take their team to the playoffs, lose 31-0 to the Bills in the playoffs there, by the way, or 30-0, whatever it was. But my point is, we don't need to run May out week 1 to get 8 sacks, 3 picks, and Cincinnati wins 31-3.
Right, I'm with you on that one. That seems like the perfect candidate of no matter what the situation is, have him sit and watch a little bit there, and yeah, gotta have a little bit better of a situation, because that's a guy that you could ruin with the wrong situation, thrusting him in a little too soon there. With Houston, I'm with you, and it's hard for people to fathom, because I mean, you could love their entire receiving core. You could say C.J. Stroud is going to take a step up, but they had, to your point, they had so many things go their way from a schedule situation and just some luck factors as well. And now you look at their schedule. Their schedule is pretty darn tough. So I'm with you as far as they might be on paper better than they were last year, but they probably will still take a small step back record-wise or success-wise there. And that's not to say anything negative about C.J. Stroud. I think the world of the guy. They're just going to have tougher circumstances to climb this year. So he's going to have to take a huge jump if they're going to be, actually improve on the record from last year there. Interested to see what we see from Jacksonville. I mean, we're still waiting on Trevor Lawrence to take that actual step forward there. Interested to see. I'm a huge Jim Harbaugh guy. You and I have talked about it as far as being the leaders of the Justin Herbert bandwagon. So don't want to mention them as my. By no means, I think they're. Another year of roster reconstruction away from being legit again. I'm still a huge Justin Herbert believer, but roster-wise, they've just taken a little bit of a step back. So I'm curious to see what they look like, but I do think they're going to play spoiler at some points this season to whoever it might be. I mean, that doesn't mean they're going to be a rollover and die. They're going to have some games where they're coming out with fire and looking like that team we've been waiting for them to look like with Justin Herbert. So I'm not going to put them in the playoffs, the Chargers necessarily, but I do think they're going to win some games over some good teams potentially there. So I'm with you on Baltimore. Last year was their chance. They had to do it last year, but I still think they're going to be a really good team. I'm a huge Joe Burrow guy there. And then health-wise, if Miami can stay healthy, that was part of the reason they fell off a cliff last year, defensively especially. So many of their playmakers got hurt on defense. Obviously, they were banged up on offense as well, and then had to go into 0-degree Kansas City in the playoffs, which wasn't good for them there. So AFC-wise, yeah, and the Colts. I'm interested to see what Anthony Richardson looks like as well. I know a lot of people are high on him, so I'm definitely not out on that situation there. I'm with you. You want to put Tennessee last. I don't have any real strong argument of putting them ahead of anybody, but at the end of the day, all four of those teams could be a bit of a roller coaster. It could have so many things go their way, could have so many things go there against them. So I don't think it's a sure thing, but I think it's safe to say that they're probably going to be the worst team on paper there. So I'm not buying too much on Denver this year. I might be interested in Bo Nix in the future, but I'll wait on Denver a little bit here. Raiders, I'm not expecting too much out of them. Obviously, hoping Devontae Adams still, my guy Devontae Adams still has some good production left in him, but not holding my breath too much for what's going on in Vegas.
Yeah, and that was, again, a quick little synopsis of what we see and what we're hearing. We'll be talking, throughout the weeks, months, of course, as the season progresses. Any questions, comments, concerns, you like Russell does, and a lot of other people do, ask away. If I got the answer, I'll tell you. If I don't have the answer, I'll find it. So, big slate tonight. Everyone playing. Anything catch your eye on the baseball slate?
On the baseball slate, let's go on over there. Curious your thoughts on this one in my neck of the woods because it's a little bit of an odd situation. You've got Rangers in town in the south side of Chicago against this White Sox team, 31-101. Ugly, all-time ugly record there. Texas, obviously, we've talked about them. They're looking ahead another month and a half ahead on their schedule of the offseason here. But Texas minus 145 with Andrew Heaney on the mound. Garrett Crochet on the mound for the White Sox, but It is the White Sox have put a cap on how far he is going into these games. Each of the last 2 games, actually for the last handful of starts, but just looking at these last 2 games, 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 and 2 earned runs allowed, 55 and 57 pitches total. So he is not going deep into these games. They haven't shut him down, but they obviously are not letting him go, past 60 pitches right now. So again, don't know what we have officially tonight on the cards here, but do you even spend your time with a game like this, with a team like this White Sox? Garrett Crochet obviously has been fantastic, but now obviously a pitch limit here. Any way that you would like to get into this game, or is this a shield your eyes and keep on scrolling type of game for you here?
Well, I can say this. I thought I heard it today or yesterday. You have 31 wins and 31 blown saves. So that's just a record in itself. So if you like the White Sox today, the only way you could play it, obviously, is the first 5. Take them in the first 5. You can take them at plus money. Or if you want to get creative in case it's tied, you can spend a little juice and get them plus a half run. That's it. For Texas, again, they're waiting for October 1st. They had their run. They had their glory. Things didn't come together. I guess I thought I saw earlier this past week or late last week, DeGrom throwing on the side. Just shut it down, will you? You're just wasting your time. An offense that just wasn't consistent enough. Pitching staff wasn't consistent enough. An overnight number of 145, now down to 132. So some money trickling in on your White Sox there. You can get them full game at plus 121 at Circa. If you do that, God bless you. I'm just telling you, their back end is so hideous. So, again, Crochet's going to go 57, 58, 59 pitches, which if he can get 4 or 5, that's a great start. But if he's getting the Ks, which adds up to those pitch counts, he could go 3 1/3. He could have 8 strikeouts and leave up 1-0, and then by the top of the 6th, the score is 5-1. So again, tread lightly. If you like the White Sox, you play them in the first 5. Hey, if your book is creative and you can do a first 3, play him in the first 3 innings. Who cares? But that he's not going far. So that's just one of those get in, get out. See, you wouldn't want to be you.
Right. Sticking in, not in Chicago, but the Cubs are in Pittsburgh tonight. Justin Steele, we talk about him. It seems quite a bit when we were on these shows. Jared Jones for the Pirates, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run last time out, 2 walks, 5 Ks. This was back in July, so it has been a while since we have seen Jared Jones. He is a rookie making his return to the lineup here for this Pirates team. He has been shut down for the last couple of weeks, or a few weeks, more than that it seems like anyways. Justin Steele last time out, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run allowed, no walks, 10 Ks. So the strikeouts were rolling for him last time out. Any love? The Cubs minus 120, down from about minus 150 at open. Anything? Do you respect the Cubs as the favorite? Do you respect the opening number, or is there something else that we're missing here with the big movement?
Well, again, would they score 18 runs yesterday or something stupid? It's real hard to come back with a team like that. They're just, a lot of these teams are hit or miss here. And again, as we've talked every time he starts, is it Justin Steele or just an aluminum can? I don't know what you're going to get. Jones first time back, as you said, in a while. Opening number of minus 130, now minus 117 at the Circa. Shout out to Jeffrey Benson and Derek Stevens at the Mecca. You can grab Pittsburgh at plus 107. 8 under minus 20 cents. 7.5s at most of the places around. DraftKings hanging an 8 under. So again, when Circa hangs an 8, everyone else 7.5. First 1 to 5 wins this game, or a 4 to 3. Both team totals 3.5. Cubs 3.5 juiced over minus 140. And you can get Pittsburgh 3.5 minus 110 either which way. So if you like Pittsburgh today, I'd take a shot at their team total over 3.5 minus 110. You don't have to worry about who wins here, and if the Cubs stay hot, you can go chase them in the sandbox and just get to 4 and change the game.
Yeah, that is a very, very good point there, my friend. Astros and Phillies. I believe that's starting at the same time as that game we just talked about there. 5:40 my time, 6:40 your time. That one is on TBS, so national game for you there on TBS. Verlander and Nola, good pitching matchup here. However, Verlander's second start off of his IL stint. First time out, 5 innings, 76 pitches. Looked all right through that time there. Aaron Nola, on the other hand, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, scattered a bunch of hits. These last few starts, he's been scattering a lot of hits. We've got this Phillies team minus 145. I know you said you were angry with them after yesterday. They win in extra innings last night, but obviously not what the man Jeff Dawson was looking for yesterday. Still favored here today. Are you respecting them here at this number with Verlander in the mound, or is this kind of just a fair number here?
What really pops to me was an 8.5 over, minus 15 cents overnight, now a 9. We're talking Verlander and Nola here. Two big, high-profile lightning rod pitchers, yet the over-under is at 9. I'm expecting runs to be scored. I think it goes over the 9 or lands right on 9, to be honest with you. And looking at the team totals, which is kind of comical here, Houston goes from 3.5 over, minus 140, to 4.5 under, minus 140. So you can get Houston to get to 5 or better, and it doesn't matter who wins, at plus 120. So if you like Houston, you can take them to win the game at plus 121, or you can take them to get to 5 or better. It doesn't matter who wins the game, at plus 120. Phillies, 4.5, minus 110, either which way. Again, I expect some runs to be scored. I'm not telling you to run to the window and bet the Phillies to get to 5 or better, minus 110. But again, if you don't want to lay the 140 or 132 right now at Circa, please go that route, because again, this is not the Phillies team from May, June, and July. This is a team that has been struggling, and their offense has been struggling. Their starting pitch has been struggling. Wheeler was just a shell of himself last night, and I did send out that tweet. I can't wait till they lose in the first round of the playoffs. They keep playing like this, they will lose in the first round.
I agree with you. If they continue to play like this, I am with you. Some interesting numbers for the home run props out of this one. You've got Alec Baum 450, Bryce Harper 255, Kyle Schwarber plus 210, Castellanos 4-1, Trey Turner 320, and Yordan Alvarez plus 200. And now I don't know if maybe I don't scroll enough and find myself curious on this. You can get some either or home run props here on DraftKings today. To hit a home run, Yordan Alvarez or Kyle Schwarber, minus 110 for at least one of those two guys. If you think the ball is going to be dead tonight, nobody's hitting a home run, Kyle Schwarber, Yordan Alvarez not to hit a home run, minus 115. So if you think the one rare chance where if you think these guys aren't going to hit home runs, you can actually bet against it tonight, my friend.
Well, if you had Schwarber and Harper last night, you got to come back and play him again today. That's for sure. Same with Alvarez there. I'm going to go a little deeper as well here. What is Mr. Bregman?
I believe he was 550, plus 550, Alex Bregman.
So if you're looking for a little extra beef on the bone, I'm going Mr. Bregman.
I like it. You've been kind of hot with the not those 200 numbers, the little extra beef on the bones. You've been hot with those lately. I will. No, I don't want Castellanos. He's been hitting the ball well lately, but I won't go Castellanos. I'll go Baum. I'll go Alec Baum outside of those other guys. But like you said, if you had Schwarber and Harper yesterday at the numbers we talked about, then definitely got to go back to them again here today. So. Let's see. Kansas City, Cleveland, big series here. I believe they play again tomorrow, but Kansas City wins both of the games yesterday to get that much closer to this Guardians team. I believe they are one game back of Cleveland for the AL Central. Michael Lorenzen for the Royals. Gavin Williams for the Guardians, minus 160. By the eye test, the pitching matchup would be favorable to the Royals. Gavin Williams has not been fantastic. Yet Cleveland at minus 160 after a two-game sweep yesterday. Are we feeling good about the Guardians getting the bounce back here today, my friend?
Well, Vegas thinks it is. As it was 140 overnight, now 156, and 8.5 over, now a 9. They're expecting a big bounce back. This Kansas City freight train, when I stay away from them, they score, and they score in bunches. The funny thing is their team total 3.5 juiced over. -145. They're baiting you to say, oh, come on, you know they're going to score 4 or more today. You got to lay $1.45 to make $1 there. Cleveland team total over 4.5, -125. So if you like Cleveland tonight, I'd rather have you lay the 25 cents for them to get to 5 or better versus laying the 156. I do like Cleveland to bounce back. I do like Cleveland first 5 minus the hook around even money as well there. I like the pitching edge. Believe it or not, I think there's actually an edge with Williams and a bounce back and a little regression for Lorenzen. And of course, if you like Cleveland, what's J-Rom for a homer?
Let's see. Yes, J-Ram 4-1 plus 400.
And Naylor?
Bo Naylor 6-1.
So
6-1 for Naylor.
If they both hit a homer, there's a plus 1,000 in your pocket there, gentlemen and ladies.
That's right. Oh no, I'm sorry. Josh Naylor 425. I was looking at his brother Bo 6-1.
Yes.
So Josh Naylor 425. There you go.
All right, so you're getting 425 and 400 between Josh and J-Rom.
And Salvador Perez after a nice day yesterday, 350 for Salvo.
I can tell you this. If I ranted every time I play Kansas City, Salvador Perez and Bobby Witt couldn't hit a double on second hitting off a tee. Go against them, and Witt's 4 for 5, 3 stolen bases, and 2 homers, and Salvador Perez has got 5 RBIs and a homer. They're my kryptonite, and Salvador Perez has done this for me for years. 0 for 4, 0 for 5, 3 men on 0 for 4. I can't beat him.
And he's 5 for 7 5 for 7 yesterday with 2 doubles and 2 bombs, 6 RBIs over those 2 games, 3 runs scored himself. So that sounds about right today, my friend. We can skip past a couple of these ugly ones here. You've got Garrett Cole on the mound against Patrick Corbin, about as on paper lopsided pitching matchup as it gets there. 2.5 on the run line for the Yankees in that one. Red Sox, where you are sitting in front of right now.
I'll stop you.
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
stop you right there. This is like the layup of all layup, and I told everyone to be careful that the Yankees didn't get their team total last night. I will give you a nugget in that game. Washington team total under 3.5 is at -135. Take the Nationals team total over 3.5 plus 115. You can thank me tomorrow.
I've got it even crazier on DraftKings, -154 to the under 3.5 for the Nationals there, plus 120 to the over there. So, me passing right by it on paper, just the namesake Cole versus Corbin will get you, about as easy as it gets in your mind there for sure. Blue Jays and Red Sox, where you are sitting in front of right now, you mentioned it. Red Sox, not fantastic yesterday. Blue Jays out of nowhere, a little bit of a win streak on their hands. A little too late for them. They've got a 5-game win streak, still 65 and 68. So it's going to be a lot more winning to do to get themselves anywhere relevant. But you've got the Cooper Criswell on the mound for the Red Sox today, -135, down from about -150. And Yairel Rodriguez for the Blue Jays has not been pretty the last couple. Has been a little hit or miss all season long. Doesn't go too deep into these games, so don't know quite what to expect out of that one. And we were looking at a 9.5 on the full game total, my friend. What do we got here?
Yeah, and it's funny. Criswell pitched great his last start, and Rodriguez has found his stride, but he's hit or miss. He has control problems, so don't be surprised if you get to the ballpark late and the bases are loaded on 3 walks in the first inning. If he gets lathered up and he can find the control, he has done well, but he does have control issues here. Jays, we cashed yesterday team total, and their team total was juiced to the under and the Red Sox to the over. It's the same thing again today with a 9.5 here. So if you like this game, I'm going to just say play it back. If you had the Jays team total last night, take them again. 4.5 over tonight, plus 100.
Fair enough, my friend. Moving on to this next one, might set the record for most letters in a last name pitching matchup. Schwellenbach versus Woods Richardson. A lot of big long letters that don't fit on the page for both those guys on that one. Braves and Twins is what I'm talking about. Braves win 10-6, I think it is yesterday. Fried and Ober. Twins short favorites there. -110 either way on this one from what I am seeing here. Are we thinking this after a Braves win as short dogs yesterday? Now you throw them up again on the board at around -110. Short dogs, depending on where you're seeing them. Are we liking the Twins or still respect to the Braves? And maybe this is another decent spot for the Braves.
Overnight -115, now 106 to 104. It's a pick 'em. Opened at an 8, still 8 over 15 cents. But I go over to my team total page. One of our sites has got 3.5 over -145. The one that we really lean on has 4.5 juiced under -145. And you can get the Twins over 3.5 -135. So again, if I was playing this game, you can play, if you like Atlanta today, you can get them at basically a pick 'em to win the full game. I would lean first one to 5. This has got 5 to 3 written all over it, and I would lean Braves team total. I don't want you running to the window for the over 3.5 -145. That is not the objective here. If your site has 4.5 juiced under -145, take it to get to 5 or better, and take the +125, and we move on.
I like it, my friend. Marcelo Ozuna +275 for a bomb today. Matt Olson another day, 425. But Marcelo Ozuna 2 for 4 yesterday. Not a homer, but maybe a good look for a homer out of me today. Marcelo Ozuna.
I'll go back to Olson. He was very good to us yesterday at the, what'd you say, +425?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll stick to who got us to the dance yesterday.
There you go, my friend. Let's see. I don't believe we mentioned this one. Dylan Cease, Miles Mikolas in San Diego, St. Louis. Padres -145 on the road here against this Cardinals team. Padres get the win last night 7-4. Liking the Padres as the road favorite, or would you have liked it to be a bigger number with Cease on the mound with the way this Padres team is playing?
I said once they leave Petco Field, they bring the bats. We had the Padres team total yesterday over. We had the Manny Machado homer on the show here. Opened -140, now 148. If you like the Padres tonight, simple. You play them first 5 minus the hook. You hope they get to Mikolas early. I would not lay the 148. If you like the Padres full game, play the run line -1.5. Get it close to even or some plus money. If you like the Padres tonight, team total over 4.5, you can get that at +105. So I turned a -148 into even first 5 minus the hook, plus money minus the run and a half full game, or team total over 4.5 +105. You don't have to lay any kind of juice with the Padres tonight. Mikolas hit or miss. Again, when you want to bet on the Redbirds at home, they suck pond water. When you bet against them on the road, they show up. So for me, it's Padres first 5 minus the hook, full game minus the run and a half, or team total over 4.5 +105. That's the only way I'm playing this game.
Yes, sir. Not trying to take that -140, 145, whatever it is that you're seeing there. No, sir. Giants and Brewers. Interested in your thoughts on this one. Logan Webb versus Tobias Myers. Tobias Myers actually pretty solid for this Brewers team this year. He is a rookie. He has been pitching fairly consistently these last handful of stretches here. 2 earned runs or less in his last, I think, 7 starts. Last couple of hits, the hits have been rising a little bit, though. But this Brewers team -115 tonight against Logan Webb, who has been dynamite these last few weeks here. Last 5 starts, 2 earned runs or less. 8 innings the last time out, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. No walks, 6 Ks there. Is this a weird number that the Brewers at home with the way Tobias Myers is pitching is so short, or is this just flat out respect to the way Logan Webb has been pitching here?
I think it's a Logan Webb number. And, to be honest with you, I'm having a hard time figuring this out. I don't go to the splits anymore on the monies, but in this game here alone, 63% of the bets, 78% of the money on Milwaukee. Opened up -110, now 112. So again, this is a pros versus Joes here. Again, the sharps are on Webb and the Giants. You can get them literally +102 right now at the Circa. 7.5 juiced over. -15 cents. Team totals here. San Fran over 3.5 -130. Milwaukee over 3.5 -125 with the 7.5. First 1 to 4 wins this game. My money's on San Fran. Take them to win the game. And again, I don't like to lay 30 cents. I don't. But if you rather just get in and get out, you want to say, hey, I think they get to 4. Well, you got to pay the tax there, and that's minus 130.
Right. No, it is a tough one to crack, and it's another one of these teams where you might have all these situations, and then they just haven't found a way to keep consistently winning and crack that 500 mark. So that's the other spot where the public is going to be interested in Milwaukee quite a bit there with what we've seen from the San Francisco team. But Logan Webb has been fantastic. We can skip past a few here. Orioles and Dodgers to wrap things up, and then I'll let you take over anything else that might still be on the board there. Dodgers minus 200 at home with Jack Flaherty on the mound. This is his 5th start with the Dodgers. Has been a little hit or miss. He's had some good. He's had some not so great here, but all things considered, fairly solid. This Orioles team here, Cole Irvin on the mound for them. He has been, respectable to some degree here. Not terrible, but also not going too deep into these games for this Orioles team here. So. Is this a big statement for the Dodgers, or is there any love for the Orioles out of this game here tonight?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a little revenge spot for Flaherty, right? He was an Oriole for a while, so, he'll be jacked up early. I like the Dodgers' first 5 minus the hook here. I'm not going to run to the window and lay 185. You know that. 8.5 juiced over minus 120. If you like Baltimore today, you can get their team total over 3.5. At minus 110 there, and the Dodgers, you got to pay that 30 cents tax. 4.5 over minus 130. Again, this could have that 5-3, 6-3 written all over it. Does it get over the 3.5? I think Blackjack's gonna have a great game here. So again, I lean Dodgers, make a statement. Again, the Orioles leaking a little oil here, and the Yankees, when you get Judge and you get Soto, and you get, last night I think it was 3 of the guys further down hitting homers. Torres, LeMahieu, and someone else, I think, also.
Right.
If this team starts cooking with Crisco, I hate to say it this way. I'm rooting for the Diamondbacks. I'm rooting for the Padres. But this has got a Yankee-Dodger feeling to me in late October. It really does.
Yeah, and I think the ratings would, the MLB would welcome those ratings quite a bit here over. I mean, and it's sad to say that because you could have a Baltimore-Arizona series that's fantastic, but probably not going to do the same type of ratings that are not probably definitely isn't going to do the same type of ratings that what you're talking about is. But it might be just as good of a series there. So I will. This will be my. It's been a while since I've dug with some historic numbers props here. I'm digging. This is where I'm digging deep for my prop. He is only 9 homers on the season, my friend. 2 of them in the last 2 days. Kike Hernandez, who 3 for 6 lifetime off of Cole Irvin with 2 bombs. 2 out of his 3 hits are bombs against Cole Irvin here, and has had 2 home runs in each of the, or a home run in each of the last day. I'll go through, make it 3 days in a row at 7-1 for Enrique Hernandez here tonight. Kike, my friend.
All right, and I think the Dodgers. I think Blackjack goes 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna go leadoff homer by Mookie.
320. I don't know about for a first inning homer, but in the game, 320, my friend. I don't know. I probably can't pull up that one real quick, but 320 for that one. Max Muncy's number wasn't too bad either. Santander on the other side, 390. There was one other guy that was kind of Max Muncy, 425. Teoscar Hernandez, 3-1. That was the other one that I was going to mention. 3-1 for him.
I like that number. He's overdue to get heated up again, too. I talked about him in spring training. He was one of those must-get guys for fantasy guys. Perfect spot to lengthen that lineup there. The only other thing I'm going to talk about, and it's kind of funny, Cincinnati and Oakland tonight, Spence versus Junis. I think this has got to be... When that kid came up on diapers, I thought he was going to be the next coming. Never, ever developed. I want to say this is his first time out. I don't remember seeing his name all year. I had an overnight number of 145, now 141, but it was a 9.5, now at 10. And what really jumps up to me here is Cincinnati team total. Now, I get 2 different ones here. Cincinnati, on the less respected one, 4.5 juiced over minus 145. We're not going to lay the 145. On the one that we use a lot, 5.5 juiced under minus 140. So if you like the Reds today and you want to get cute, you want to have some fun here, Reds team total over 5.5. And that's at plus 120. So they need the touchdown. We don't need the extra point or 2-point conversion there. And I'm going to go. What is Ellie's number and what is Steer's number?
Let's see. While I'm finding that, I was looking. Junis just hasn't started. He's been sporadically in the bullpen this year. So especially this last week and a half or so, they've been kind of easing him out with the pen. Here in Cincinnati. I think he might have gotten a day one start or whatever, week one start with Milwaukee, but first start with Cincinnati for sure here. You asked me, where is this game at? Okay. So Ellie De La Cruz, 4-1. What was the other one you asked?
Steer.
450, plus 450, Spencer Steer.
All right, so we get 4-1 plus 450 there, and I think it's going to be a fun night in Cincinnati. I'll probably, what am I getting, plus 130 on a LE stolen base?
Let's see if I can find that one for you. That sounds about right, though. Let's see. 155 on DraftKings. 155.
All right, so we got 155, 450, 155 stolen base, 450 on a homer, and then we got Steer for a homer at 450 as well. So that's all I got today. Closing thoughts, sir.
Closing thoughts, nothing too crazy, my friend. I don't have any props or anything to give you, but if you're looking for something other than baseball to watch tonight, you got the UFC Contender Series, another if you see anyone that impresses you and lights your eyes up a little bit here, you might get some fireworks. If you're looking for something else to watch, and then mark that name down if there's someone that impresses you, because chances are if they're impressing you, they're impressing Dana White, and they'll be in the actual UFC in a few months time. And then when they've got an entry level fight night fight, and they're fighting somebody that you haven't been impressed by, then you might have a leg up on whoever that fighter is. So if you're really interested in I don't watch all of these. I like to catch some of these. Sometimes they're not that impressive, but sometimes you get some guys that come out of this really, really impressive. So it is fun to watch if you're looking for something for other than baseball tonight, my friend.
All right, so tomorrow, 5 o'clock, East Lake, Tea Time Wagers, Brady, Kannon, and myself, the final week of the regular season of the PGA. Who will hoist the FedEx Cup? Who will win $25 million? So we'll be there. Now, Thursday, guys, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Paul Stone, who will be on every Thursday with us, will be live from the Circa. We're going to have him on for 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to follow him up with Bernie Fratto from Fox Sports Radio. He'll come on for 15, 20 minutes talking about the Lions and some Week 1 look-aheads in the NFL. So that's at 11 a.m. 5 p.m. on Thursday, Ron Marmalewski from Ron A. Sports, his third season, college football, NFL, one of the best, the old-timers, the AOL guy like myself. He's got indexes and indexes of years of work. I can't wait to get him back here. Scotty, I'm not sure. No, it's Thursday. Okay, he won't. 7 o'clock p.m., Brady Tinker will be on talking Dallas Cowboys, be talking Kansas City, the voice of the Dallas Cowboys for a long, long time inside. He's done amazing work with the Cowboys. He's going to be here talking Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, what's going on in the backfield. So make sure you set your calendars. There's on Thursday. It's going to be busy as hell. And then Friday, me and Riley are going to figure out a time to get some Big Ten action in there. 12:45 p.m., Sean Alvarez will be here talking horses in the Pacific Classic from Del Mar. And then at 3 o'clock, the NCAA Insiders will be here to talk NCAA football Week 1. And then me and Riley will be back for the closer bell. I'm having a hard time remembering all this, Riley.
I know. That is you got to get your comically long scroll to read all of that. But it's all fantastic stuff, my friend. So, yeah, stay tuned. So many good people on that list of people that you just named, let alone good shows.
So we can't wait. And sprinkle in Scotty Webb. What's today? Tuesday. Scotty will be here at 6:15. in the batter's box. I think he has. I think he's also back Wednesdays. Yeah, Wednesdays. He takes Thursday off. He'll be back Friday at 6:15, and then of course on the weekend. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one, the only, Mr. Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed evening. Have some fun. Cash some tickets. Have some fun in the prop market. Some few homers, stolen bases, etc. And we will see you soon. Thank you, guys.